All right guys, so I just had something happen that's a little catastrophic in this situation. Basically what you don't want to happen, and that is welcome back to Man of the 4runner. I am back in the garage with the 6th gen, and check out what I just did to the roof. Oh yeah, we have an orange roof. And well, while I was at it, I went ahead and did the mirrors and the gas tank lid because I had extra, so why not? This is gonna be the color pattern for the 6th gen build. This is my official secondary color. I'll be adding some orange to the carbon fiber along with some white going in there. You guys know my style. It'll look pretty sweet by the time I'm done. But the reason why I have it all crooked in here is because one, it's super hot. Of course, I'm doing this on a really hot day down here in Southern California. But it is finally time to get the roof rack on the truck. And yes, we're going back to 4runner. So it'll all be matching as far as the ladder, the roof rack, and a couple other things coming from 4runner. But I'm pretty psyched on this. Now, the reason why I wrapped the roof here is because, well, one, I think it's gonna look really sweet with the roof rack over it. So it's gonna be kind of an underglow of orange, and it won't be so in your face like it currently is. But you have to have the rack on to kind of get that two-tone color that I'm going for. And second is, well, honestly, I hate washing my roof. It takes the most damage and it drives me crazy. I hate climbing up there and having to dry it and all that. So this way I get to just kind of let it go. And plus it's really hard with a roof rack to keep the roof clean. So this way, it just stays protected. I keep all my my paint done. Now don't pay attention to all the wrinkles and everything in there. Yes, this was a DIY vinyl wrap, and I wouldn't usually do such a large job because I'm not very good at doing vinyl wrap, but it's on the roof. With the roof rack on there, you're not gonna be able to see it. So I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But yes, there's bubbles and a bunch of shit on there. So I'm just gonna, you know, not zoom in too close, not pay attention to it that much, and it's okay. So don't worry, we're good. We're happy. We're happy. We got the important part right here. Not here. We got the important part right here, because this is the only part you're really gonna be able to see. So as long as that was clean, I was good. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the 4runner box. I gotta unload it all. I'll get it unpacked, show you what it looks like, and then I will get it on the truck. All right, and here we go. Box is open, nice and organized, beautiful shipping. A little bubble wrap, keeping parts protected. I like it. And this looks pretty simple. I've done a lot of roof racks, actually. I've put quite a few different ones on my old 5th gen. So it is not my first rodeo. Also on the Tacoma, obviously. So make sure you guys check out that video. I will leave it in the link in the description. But yeah, this looks, I'm just gonna get all the parts out here, get the mounts up first, and just start piecing everything together. So up first, it looks like this is the front part of the rack. Obviously, these are both together. It looks like it's gonna go something like this. So it looks like the front's gonna go something like that. All the way up here though. And then you've got the back pieces that actually attach onto here. And I assume there's gonna be like a plate that holds them together. So that's basically how it's gonna go. So that's gonna be your front. And then, like I said, there's gonna be some sort of plate that's gonna attach these together. And I imagine they just do that for shipping reasons. And they'll come all the way around, and the bar's all in the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these unwrapped and try to find the mounting to them. All right, so I'm gonna show you what I'm starting with, and this is gonna be the first front bar here, and it looks like it is going to be positioned with the spacer right there, and then this on top right there. So, and personally, I'm thinking about using the stock bolts because they actually have this little rubber piece here, which I guess I could take off and put them on the other ones, but stock ones are a little longer. So I think I'm just gonna take off this rubber piece, put it on this one, and just for extra protection. Because the big thing here is about moisture, and that's what I always get paranoid about. I don't want anything going to the roof because you'll just have a really bad day. So I have this silicone caulking stuff that I'm gonna just put around the edges here, and then I'm gonna set this spacer right on top of it just to give it that extra seal, so when it does rain, water comes down here and there's just no risk of it going anywhere. And that's what it's gonna pretty much look like on all of them right there. All right, so now that I have the silicone on the spacers, just to make sure everything's nice and watertight there, I'm gonna place this down, and it looks like they have this other bracket here that I'm gonna line up with the other one. Put these bolts in here before I completely tighten it down. That way we don't have any trouble with them lining up afterwards. Don't forget, up here in the front, I'm going to put this 3M tape down here while I still can, because I'm not drilling into there. I'm just not going to do that. So we'll get that 3M down there, and then once everything's like put together, it'll be nice and solid. I've skipped that option before. All right, so we're moving into the centerpiece. So I'm going to grab this backing plate here that's going to connect the front to the back, put it on the inside here, and just thread the bolts through for right now. Put it on. Just kind of wrap it around it. There we go. That's how it looks. So when the bolt goes in, it goes right through the silicone. All right guys, so I just had something happen that's a little catastrophic in this situation. Basically what you don't want to happen, and that is, let me show you. This whole piece fell down. It has these little, it's basically just attached by a clip that allows you to put the bolt in. They have threads at the bottom there. And there's these little white plastic pieces that are popping up. For whatever reason, I was not putting that much pressure onto them, but those little pieces broke and the whole thing came falling down. So I had to lift up the back headliner, and luckily it wasn't too far for me to reach, and I could lift up underneath it, and I was able to scoot it back on, but I did lose those white pieces. But I'm still able to bolt into there. I'm just gonna put some more silicone around it. Now, again, I've never had anything like that happen. I've been actually pretty rough on these things before with the 5th gen and the Tacoma. That's never happened. So just be careful, because that is worst case scenario. I still am just blown away that just happened. But crisis averted, it's out. Let's get the bolts in and get this thing done. So now I'm just gonna be extra careful here. Extra bracket on here. Still just pretty baffled that that just happened. But, you know, I guess your luck just runs out eventually. I've heard of it happening. I just didn't think, you know, you just don't think it would happen to you. So this time around, just try to go nice and slow here. All right, and I got those down. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just put that middle bracket on. And again, I'll tighten everything down here in a little bit. I'm just going down and torquing these down. You want them pretty tight, but again, just be careful. Not too tight, but pretty snug. Like I got these like with one hand, you know, it kind of moves, but it's pretty snug down there. So that's good. I'm going to tighten the little bolts down here, and we should be good for the right side. All right, so there you have it. We have one full side done. That's got the 3M tape on it. We got the spacers, we got the silicone, all the nuts and bolts are tied down. Looking good, feeling sturdy, everything's torqued. So I'm gonna go ahead and start up the other side and just repeat process. All right, so I got the second side done. Side on, of course, it went in way faster and easier than the first side, and nothing fell through, so I didn't have to worry about that. By the way, if you guys are worried about that, don't let it freak you out. Honestly, just hand tighten it until you feel that grip, until you feel the bolt grip, and then go ahead and use an impact, put it down or whatever you're using, and then just hand tighten it. It's really not as scary as you think. That's never happened to me. This is the first time. So don't let that get in your head. You'll be all right. But it was a good experience to actually have that happen, because now I kind of know what to do. Kind of always knew what to do, but either way it sucked. So yeah, just don't let that freak you out. But anyway, I went ahead and got the first crossbar on here just to see what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna go ahead and grab all the bolts and start basically just lining it up. So hold. I'll do the back and the front very last, but I'll go ahead and get the middle stuff all taken care of. So while I am getting these on, and something I was kind of worried about earlier was, you know, these have holes in them that are a little bit longer to kind of give you the ability to adjust it. So I'm having to pull this one back just a bit in order to get these from side to side. So I'm basically just gonna do it for the one where it mounts right in the middle, and then the front to the other side here, and then I'll torque it down. All right, so all pieces are officially on. I do not have all of them tightened down though yet. I'm gonna go ahead and wait to put on the front wing part and then tighten everything down, just so that I have some, you know, wiggle room to put it on. I don't want to make everything so tight that that part doesn't slide in. So let's go and open up that front part, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I did something a little different in the front. I did not add the flare, the fair wing, whatever it's called. I didn't add the front wing because I'm not really a big fan of the wing. So I actually had this stealth mount for my rigid light bar, and I just mounted it to the actual roof rack, the first bar here. So I used the mount that they provided, and then I had this stealth mount, and just it positions itself to here, and it's just held in through that bolt right there, and it is nice and sturdy, not moving around, and it looks freaking sweet. I'm digging it. All right, guys, that is a wrap. That is my rigid adapt 40-inch light bar that I threw in the front. Really good. Big shout out to 4runner. Great quality roof rack. Super easy on the install. It's always takes a little bit longer the first try, but just follow the steps I showed you. You guys will be all right. If you want to check out this light bar, I'll leave the link in the description for this Rigid Industries light bar, and obviously 4runner's rack. I'll have all the information below. So extra credit time, and what I mean by that is it's been a couple days. I've had a chance to sit on the roof rack and how I mounted the light bar and everything, and really dig into if I like it or not. And honestly, it was bugging me. I want to put this as a separate video because it has nothing to do with the actual install, just my own way of customizing this roof rack to fit my light bar and to look the way I want it to look. I am not replacing this rigid light bar. I think it's awesome, but the mounting and this roof rack was a little difficult. The style of roof rack was difficult because it's meant for a different kind of light bar. But hey, we got the roof rack installed. We went through that whole video. You know how to do it. Now is the extra credit time. This is where I modify stuff to make it look and work the way I want it to. And I'm not afraid to cut shit up. So with that said, first off, I'm gonna flip this around. I had to bolt these up. So I had to chop that thing off. So I'm gonna have to repaint that, but just so you know, don't over tighten these because it'll be all bad. Anyway, I wanted to add the wing. I thought it just didn't look proper without the wing. I liked how it was mounted. It just had this big gap here and these two bolts missing, and it just kind of looked a little unfinished. I love the low pro of the light bar. So what I decided to do is put the wing on, and when I did, you know, the light bar was sitting way up here, and it just looked goofy. It just looked like it was all flat, and then you just have this light bar popping up, protruding from the whole thing. And again, I like the low pro look of everything. So what I did is I modified the wing a bit. I moved it down so it slides down here, and I just have one bolt holding this actual wing part on. As you can see, it's just barely off, but this usually mounts up here, so it'll have this whole piece. I moved it down, and the crossbar usually goes right here. I tried mounting it on here, it just looked too high and goofy and wasn't falling over the wing like I wanted it to. So I decided to just move this wing down. It still looks nice and flush. It's got this weather stripping on here to protect it so it's not scratching anything. You know, another problem too is how I had it mounted with the mounts I have, the light bar kept moving from vibration and kind of started hitting the roof too. So that was another reasoning. But anyway, I slid the wing down, tightened it all down. It's nice and firm there, it's not moving. And what I decided to do is put my mounts, oh, my car doesn't like it when I step on it. So what I did is I put the mounts underneath this part, put this mount or this crossbar from right here up to this side to put this back, and I just mounted a light bar underneath. The reason I had to move the wing down is because the light bar mounted like this was hitting it when it was mounted up here. So with everything slid down, it actually fell nice into place. But another little problem I was having is the light bar itself was just a hair off, just a hair too wide, and it was making it so this side sits up. So I went ahead and trimmed a little bit of the light bar itself, a little bit of the roof rack right here, so that way this can slide in. I'll paint that here soon, but just so that it slides in and the whole thing is nice and flush. And now this is the final product. And it came out really good. That's exactly how I wanted it. I wanted it to kind of have a bit of an overhang over the wing. And now it doesn't, even with the mount, it's kind of held up by this wing here. So any vibrations, it kind of stops here. So it's nice and tight on the mounts and it won't fall down any further. And it gives it that nice flush look that I had before. But it's just not protruding too high to where it looks ridiculous. So that's my extra credit. That is how I made my rigid 40-inch light bar work with the Slimsport. By the way, I messed that up earlier in the video. It's not Slimline, it's a Slimsport. The Slimline 2, I believe, is the one without the wing. So it's probably the one I should have ordered. But I made this work and I actually like it better, way better now. I like the curve of it. It looks good and it fits my light bar. So if you guys like it, let me know. Do you modify things like this? Are you willing to cut up, you know, $1,000 roof rack and a $3,000 light bar? Cause I am. I might be a little crazy, guys. You start cutting one thing, you just end up cutting everything. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. If you have any questions specific to this, feel free to message me, or if you want to do something similar, yeah, just let me know and I can help you out and show you a little bit of a closer look. But that's pretty much how I had it done. So hope you guys liked the video. See you next time.